this is me and my horse Meji. Meji, say hi. So this is when Meji arrived from Spain. He arrived in mid-April, April 16th, something like that. And he'd been in transit for about 2 weeks, so it was really, really long. I'd never met him before, I bought him unseen, so I didn't know what to expect. And when he came off the lorry, this is definitely not what I expected at all. He was very agitated, but he kind of took everything in a stride still, which kind of gave me confidence that he would settle. You can see as well he didn't quite know who to look for. He'd been passed around so much. I later found out he had about 7 owners before me, so he's had quite a rough past and he had quite a lot of scarring on his nose as well from serratus. And when I got him into a stable, I thought, let's get him settled, but he was incredibly, incredibly shy around his ears. And especially when I went to go get him in from the field and things like that, he was very jumpy. It just obviously lacked a lot of trust in me. So the first time I rode him was a bit of a shock. He was quite nervous and unsettled in the mouth and wasn't listening to me at all. He just kind of had this predetermined idea that everything I did was going to be either a no or uncomfortable. And this was the first time I rode him, so I was very tentative. I just did a bit of walk, I did a bit of trot as well. Didn't really push things too far. And then kind of reassess the situation. Obviously, I ruled out things like he had the dentist, he had farrier, he had everything booked in. His teeth were in a bit of a rough shape as well. He had a wolf tooth. And then we had a number of instances where his behaviour just kind of seemed to get worse. He was kind of argumentative on saddle, but then would work quite well. He was still is very difficult about letting people into his right shoulder. I think he was only lunged on the left rein, in Spain. So when you try to get onto that right shoulder, he just completely freaked out. And even now it takes a lot of gentle positioning to get him in the right place. But I saw potential in him and he was so sweet. He was just so sweet, and when he was chilled, he was the horse is of my dreams, and I bought him so that he could be trained to be a para horse, really, because I have a neurological pain condition and I wanted him to be as calm and self-confident as possible. And I put a lot of time into making sure that he was confident, and encouraging him to come out of his shell a bit that he hadn't really had the chance to do when he was in Spain. So I did a lot of kind of free work in the school with the field with him. Although we still had some issues, but he played through them quite well. I could start taking his bridle off and he wouldn't shoot backwards. He would let me start touching his ears a little tiny bit, not a lot. Now I can touch them, but it's tentative still. We think he might have been ear twitched in the past, and obviously he's got a lot of scarring on his nose. He was still quite spooky to ride. I don't have a lot of footage of it, but it would be jumping like that, or it would be full on jumping out to the side or bolting off. And then something clicked. He worked really well, and he was still very unpredictable. So going to the field and everything, he might have done a rear, or he might have pulled you to the field, or he would constantly try to bite you going to and from the field, which it was intermittent, but it was becoming less frequent. But he really clicked with the ridden work under saddle, and the mouthing of the bit really stopped, and he became very self-confident. We were hacking out, and he really enjoyed his work. And then he got a bout of cellulitis shortly after this video was taken, and it was all resolved and he had no problems. But after that, he really recovered fairly well. But he seemed to have a lot of self-confidence issues in himself following that. So the suckling behaviour, which he had since he first arrived, kind of got a lot worse. He also showed signs of gastric ulcers, so he was taken into Liphook Equine Hospital to be checked for those. And this is him at Liphook after being there for the night. And he just suckled and rested his head on me. So he was clear, and we decided to he had a break, and then we turned to groundwork. We did the TRT method on the ground, and although he responds really well, we keep hitting this stumbling block where he suckles as soon as you get to a good point. But he has come on leaps and bounds. This has only taken a few weeks ago. And he's moving really well, and he's much more relaxed in his work. but we still have this problem of the suckling and lack of self-confidence when it comes to dealing with things. But he is so brave, but equally he is very this is his kind of self-soothing method, and I would like to be able to get him around this and work through it, and instead of him feeling like this is something he has to go through. Just a video of me bring him in from the field, and something had upset him, and he didn't want to move. He planted there and just suckled because he didn't quite know what else to do. So I thought to film it and see what we could do with it. But yeah, so that's Meji. So Meji and I would absolutely love to be part of this demo. Firstly, because we would like to improve his behaviour. So when he gets a bit unsure, he can bite or go to bite, lunge, things like that, which clearly show that he's not very confident. So we would like to be improving on that and kind of deterring that behaviour completely. Secondly, we would like to improve his self-confidence, that we're able to go out hacking and do more of that sort of thing without having him need to worry about him spooking or becoming a bit unpredictable on the roads. And also we can improve our schooling work and everything through that as well. And thirdly is to help teach him a few things to make my life a bit easier. I find getting on and off really difficult because of my pain. So helping him to line up at the mounting block for getting on and off would help. And just progressing on things that I've started to teach, but also solidifying and getting past the suckling behaviours to make sure that he's happy in his work and is able to feel confident enough that he doesn't have to do that.